Hi guys, we are Therapeutic Finance and we are finally back with yet another video. This is Broderick and I'm Naja.
Welcome.
And today we will be talking about our money mistakes and our money wins in 2022.
Yes, 2022, it was a great year, but it was filled with big mistakes as well. We think it's important to kind of share those with you guys, just to let you know, nobody's perfect. We all come up short somewhere, somehow. In this life, there's going to be plenty of lessons learned. If you're not learning, you're dying. I think that's what they say. But
I don't know if that's what it is, but okay.
But yeah, so we want to kind of pass. We want to kind of pass on some of those mistakes. So here we go.
Okay.
Mistake number one.
Okay, so mistake number one was a sod incident.
Mm-hmm. For anyone that doesn't know, sod is grass, basically. So good thing that happened in 2022, we bought a house. And in that process, we found out that the front of the house was going to be sodded. They were going to put grass in it, just kind of came with the package. It was all paid for. But if we wanted the back done, then we would have to pay for that out of pocket.
Right.
Well, you know, we talked about it and we said, oh, if it's a decent price, it's something we could do.
Yeah.
Well, it turns out we hear that it would only be $600. And we said,
okay.
600 is not too bad to get the whole backyard done.
Yeah.
We'll take it. I mean, we've never paid for sod before. We don't know what it's going to cost.
Yeah.
But
We didn't know what was typical, so it was like, okay, $600 sounds doable.
Yeah, we could do that. Okay. So maybe, I don't know how long we were in the house.
We were in the house probably a month or two.
Maybe, you might be right, maybe a month. And I got a call from the foreman, and he told me that there was a mistake. The mistake was, they said 600. Don't know how it happened. It was actually about $2,200 more.
Yeah.
So what do we do in that situation where someone gave us a quote for 600 and then come back and they say, it was actually $2,200 more. What should we do? Well, we talked about it.
Yeah. And us being like, we're trying to be morally upstanding citizens and whatnot. We're like, okay, like, we got what we got the service rendered. Although it wasn't our fault that there was a mistake and all that. We just kind of felt like it was the right thing at the time. Mm-hmm. How do you feel in hindsight?
Yeah, so I think I led the charge as the head of the household. I led the charge. Yeah. With big decisions that need to be made. I look back in hindsight and I think there was a mistake. And that's why we're putting it right here as mistakes of 2022. So
we were suckers. Yeah, we were literally suckers, and we should not. Looking back, we shouldn't have paid the $2,200 because at the end of the day, that was his mistake. Now, what do y'all think? Y'all can leave in the comments. Would you pay for the side?
I think most people are definitely gonna say no.
So we're just
especially on the outside looking in. So my dad always told me that it's not always about the money, it's about doing the right thing. And at the time, I think we were both thinking that, we got the service, like you said, and so we pay for it. Mm-hmm. But I think looking back, I've kind of come up on another saying is don't let someone else's problem become your emergency or something of that nature. But it's kind of the fact that someone else made a mistake and their mistake became our problem. And as the head of the household,
yeah, we typically we would not have, if we would have known that the price was $2,200 from the jump, we would not have, that grass would probably, that yard would probably be bare as we speak. It wouldn't be nothing back there.
We probably have a good amount of grass.
We seed it, we'll say that. We wouldn't sod it.
Yeah.
Because that's a lot of money.
Yeah, so looking back, that's something we wouldn't have done. I think the right thing to do was not to take food off our table because of someone else's mistake. So
yeah, and two, now that I'm kind of like hearing some other stories about different things, I'm like, okay, was it really $2,200? Like, was he trying to get money for another job? Because, you know, this is a foreman over many different job sites. So it's like, you just never truly know the whole story. So our second money mistake of 2022.
Is it really our mistake?
Well, look, I had no dealings in this. Like, it was not a financial loss to me.
You did have a dealing in it because you had the opportunity to go in with me on it.
And I opted out because I saw it as a bad investment. Yeah. So the only person that really hurt in this situation that we're about to discuss is honestly Broderick, because he came out of a lot of money by himself. It was not a joint purchase.
So money mistake number 2 were these nice smart vents. I guess interesting fact, I was watching Shark Tank. An old episode of Shark Tank where these guys came on and they were talking about these smart vents that they had developed and how they were working on them or whatnot. And they're actually still in business today. I did my research. I didn't go with that company for my vents. I went with a different company. But the whole idea was that there's only 2 of us living in this house. It costs a lot of energy to cool the entire house or to heat the entire house. So I was thinking if we got the vents would close off different sections of the house to only heat or cool the sections that we need. We live in the bedroom and the living room, which is basically connected to the kitchen. We're in 2 areas basically. So I thought that would be perfect. If we only heated and cooled those areas that we're in, we'd be fine. Well, it turns out we got the vents, and they've actually worked at some point, but they've been pointless because the whole house is still heated. The whole house is still cooled. So we save nothing on energy. Also, to go along with it, you have to get you a smart thermostat. Mm-hmm. I bought the Ecobee thermostat, which it looked really pretty. It's fly.
It's real sleek.
It's fly.
You got little what's the little temperature gauges? What are they called? Like the little pods. That
and along with it,
separate.
Yeah, along with it, I bought temperature gauges. The temperature gauges are to like sit in certain rooms, so to tell you the temperature in that room, which goes along. The vents kind of read from that, and they say, okay, we want to shut off air in this room or shut off heat and direct that heat somewhere else. So that's kind of how it goes. But I learned that you can't shut off all the vents in a house. So they can only shut like 4 vents at a time. There's like 15 vents in the house. So those 4 vents isn't doing anything. So that was, we didn't even talk about the amount. That was about $1,700 for the vents. The whole setup was about $1,700. And I had to also go and buy a ladder to get up to the ceilings to actually put the vents in.
Yeah, and it wasn't like a cheap ladder either. Like, we have 12-foot ceilings, and you got like some fancy ladder.
That's more than 12 feet.
Oh, well, I thought they were 12 feet.
That's probably
or maybe
more
14. I don't know. I don't know how tall our ceilings are. But anyways, it's a huge ladder.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, when you change like the recess lights, maybe you'll come in handy again. But he hadn't used the ladder since. And it was how much? How much was that ladder, Roderick? Please tell.
I think it was, I'll just say about $200. It was probably more. What I did, I bought it from Walmart. So I just kind of looked at the Walmart app, the little giant ladder. I forgot how tall it is, but I think it'll come in use in the future.
Yeah. It'll come in use eventually.
The bad thing about the whole setup that I bought is the vents turned out to be pointless because they weren't saving us any energy. The thermostat, as beautiful as it is a complete pain in the backside to work. It's like, I don't know, Chinese chess?
I don't know.
I don't know. It's hard. It's been hard to figure out how Chinese checkers. Yeah. It's been hard to try to like figure out how to work it. So we've literally used more energy trying to figure it out than we would have with nothing at all.
Yeah, I think the one cool feature that like people typically use it for, and what we do kind of like, is like being able to turn the air off or on when we're away.
Yeah.
I think that's really the only feature we use. But like even like the puck that you have to put in the bedroom, like the puck messed up my wall. He mounted a puck to the wall and it like chipped away paint. And we're unsure as to how accurate those temperature gauges are because we're like, there's no way it's this degree in the room.
We're not even using that one. No. Look, it was my purchase.
Yeah. Well, look, I'm not gonna say I told you so, but I didn't go in on this purchase. So
I think I'm gonna eventually like learn how to work the thermostat, but in the end, I think it's still gonna be a pointless purchase because the whole house is still being heated, the whole house is still being cooled. So yeah, I regret that purchase.
So our last money mistake that we're gonna talk about is a big one.
It's actually not that big. I think it's a little bit more petty. Cause I mean, it's a thing.
It's very common.
Because every time we do it, that's like $5 every time we do it.
Yeah, maybe a little more than $5. Well, yeah. Mostly it's like the produce. Okay. So yeah, it could be like maybe $5 or anywhere between like $5 and $10.
Tell them what it is.
Unused groceries.
Unused groceries.
We all go to the grocery store. We see this produce. We have great intentions. We're going to use it. We're going to use it soon. And then it goes bad.
I can't tell you how many pineapples, how many things of strawberries, how many grapes.
No. What? I eat grapes. Like you literally.
But I mean, there are some grapes though. We can't exclude those.
I mean, I buy a big thing of grapes, and there's probably like if any, there's a little that go to waste. But like he will literally buy a whole big thing of strawberries and the whole thing will be molded. Like he will not eat strawberries. I'm like, do you even like strawberries for you to buy this whole thing and you don't eat them?
We cut a pineapple 3 weeks after we bought it. It's no good at this point.
Right. Asparagus, that's another big one.
Asparagus that has sat in the refrigerator so long that it's turned into juice. Did we plan on eating that?
So the most recent time I bought asparagus, I did cook it like right away. We're trying to learn from our mistakes, and I hope that you do the same. Yeah. So don't buy things buy the things that you need, obviously, but go ahead and use them, especially the produce. Things that'll go bad very soon.
I agree.
So
let's actually eat the things that we buy.
Yeah.
Let's save us some money in the long run.
Yeah. And overall, like just trying to eat the things that we have in our fridge and freezer before going to get more things or going out to eat.
Yeah, I think we're guilty of that right now. We got some stuff that's been sitting there a long time.
Yeah. But 2023, we're going in like, hey, we got this food in the fridge. What we gonna cook today?
Yeah,
let's turn on a new leaf.
Learn from the mistakes.
Yep. That's all you can do.
All right, y'all.
All right. Well, thank you guys for tuning in. Once again, we're Therapeutic Finance. I'm Naja.
I'm Brad.
And we'll see y'all next time.